drops.
Oh, yeah. Maybe I will nip you. Like Dinoaur did.
I don't know. 3 times a day is fucking...
Whatever. If it helps, I'm game. I'd rather have ear drops 3 times a day than an infected fucking ear. It's the guy from Highdeology. That's me. It's me. Time to ditch TJ. Oh, whatever. Looked like TJ was slowing down anyway. TJ's typically pulling up on close to done when he starts playing Agario. But, you know, you can always stick with TJ. Thank you, Ian. You got a pee, Hog Slayer? I'm gonna ban you so you can pee and never come back. How you feel about that, Hog Slayer? You don't want to get banned?
My finger was on the trigger.
You don't want to get banned? Okay, well then, shut up. Oh man. What'd it do? Slept all day. That's what it do. I guess that's the sick Paul way. Well, I didn't sleep all day. Went and did my recording and stuff for the day and then slept. That's what happened. That's how it was. How goes it? It goes. Tell those idiots over watching TJ to come over here. Tell them that the real streamer is streaming now. Do you have crazy grip strength due to your forearm size? Hell yeah, dude. Hell yes. I don't know. I don't know if my grip strength is all that impressive. I tried Burger King's new Chicken King and it sucked. Why would you go to Burger King? That was problem number 1. Problem number 1 was you went to fucking Burger King. That's bottom of the barrel, bro. That's it. That's the American bottom of the barrel. Favorite Jimi Hendrix song? I hate the favorite questions, bro. Don't do it. Don't just ask me fucking apropos favorite questions. You interested in the fucking Alien show coming to Hulu? Maybe. I don't know if it's good. I'm interested in it. What games am I playing right now? I'm playing. I'll tell you what I recently bought because I saw that they were up for pre-release. I just bought them all. They're doing a pixel remaster of Final Fantasy 1 through 6. Like a Square Enix full pixel remaster with an audio remaster by Nobuo Uematsu. Dude, can you imagine? Dude, with all kinds of the modern additions that the old versions lacked. So like auto battle and stuff like that for the easier fights. Where, you know, like in the older Final Fantasy games, you had to fucking play it out. You had to do like input every command. Now they've got like an auto battle system in all of them, and I can't wait to play those. Those are gonna be fun. Those are just like really good old school RPGs that Lost Ark. Yeah, I remember looking into Lost Ark. There's so many fucking Diablos on the like Diablo clones and Diablo type games on the horizon now, though, that like I don't know how to get into anymore. Good look on the song. Well, thank you. That was fun. Marshall did the hard work. Come to the better stream. What was that? Did TJ tell you to try and scalp my pitiful fucking 33 viewers away from me? All right, like go. It'll just be me and one person hanging out over here tonight. Come to the beta stream. Poor like what? TJ has no mercy, dude. You're a Paul loyalist, as you should be. As you should be. Let me let you know something, dude. When I'm king, you'll be first against the wall with your opinion, which means nothing at all. Little paranoid android for that ass. Lol, I meant I came to the better stream. Got it. It came off a little weird because it said come to the better stream, which led me to believe that you were headed the other way. Because that definitely is the better stream. I mean, he's just actually trying. He's over there trying, you know. I'm just smoking weed and talking shit over here. But I also have been fighting off my urge to buy and play Guilty Gear Strive. I've been watching people play it, and I haven't played a fighting game in a hot minute, and I kind of miss them. And Guilty Gear Strive looks like fun, so I think I might pick it up and dust off the old fight pad and see what's what. See if I can play a Guilty Gear game. I've never played one before.
We're just very opposite gamers.
What do you mean?
Like, I'm someone that'll fucking, like, glue myself to the same game for, like, months and months and months, and you'll...
I dance around a lot, yeah. I get that way when I find the right game, but it's just so hard for a game to captivate me like that. I need spice, diversity. I need to be able to, like, play different types of games if I'm gonna have fun with them. Yeah, but you're right. You do get invested in a game, and you're not getting out until you're done.
Yeah.
It's probably the best way to play games, honestly.
Yeah, I get the most bang for my buck, I guess.
Yeah, you get your money's worth, yo, for sure, and then some. MMOs, yeah. Well, I mean, if you went and looked at my MMO history, you would find a ton of games that, you know, I played in comparable amount of hours to, you know, the hours that Amelia would sink into like a Fallout or, but it has to be that type of game. And those games are designed to keep you playing constantly, coming back every fucking day. It's like the carrot on a stick. Man, they got so good with that carrot on a stick shit in World of Warcraft. Oh my God. Like when World of Warcraft first came out, people were still treating it like that, like logging in every day, even though the only impetus to log in every day was just to play the game. Now, at least the last time I played it, I don't know, it's been a couple of expansions since I played WoW, but like they've got all these quests that are designed, like every time you log in, you've got a list of daily quests, and if you do them all, you get a thing, and they fly you all over the world to do it, and it's like it just gives you all these like investments to log in and check. You've got things going on in the background that are passively making you money. It's just like such a fucking pernicious game. Like when I got back into it, it actually pushed me out of the game because I felt like so baited. Like I felt legitimately baited. by the game. It was like the game was nakedly, like when it was just a game, when it was just like log in, level up your character, play a dungeon, maybe get an upgrade or something, upgraded piece of armor or whatever. That was enough of a carrot on a stick for me, and I didn't feel like. But now, dude, WoW is just like, it's like one of those fucking mobile games. Where it's like when you try and leave, they're like, "Oh, you sure you don't want to play one more? Sure you don't want to buy 50 gems?" You know what I mean? It's
I don't know, fucking the mobile game crisis. That's what really glued people to phones.
yeah. Well, I mean, those types of fucking games, like, dude, I was watching a show about them. They're called gotcha games, not gotcha. Geo, not like you think, like gotcha. Gotcha, Gacha,
Yeah.
which started in Japan. Like the little you've probably seen them in like grocery stores and stuff. You put a quarter in, you turn it, you get like a toy in a bubble.
Yeah.
That's a gotcha game. So it's like you want one of those toys. You put your quarter in, and there's a 1 in 50 chance you get your toy.
Yeah.
And you get the one you don't want. You go, okay, well, I'll put another quarter in, and eventually you put in $10 and you get your little guy.
Yeah.
That's a gotcha game. Well, now that's how all online games are designed. They're all gotcha games. They're literally that way. Yeah, gachapon. They're based on. That's what the little tiny monster things were called, or the little toys were called in Japan. Gachapon. Toy, please. Toy, please. Yep. And now, like that's what the games are. They give you this game for free, and you get to play the game for free. That's how they snag you in. But once you've played the game for a few hours, you realize that your whole gameplay is limited by like, let's say you're playing like Raid Shadow Legends or whatever. You start to realize that your game is limited by the fact that you only got like 5 characters to pick from to put on your team. And it's like, if you spend a little money, you can unlock this character. And this character would unlock a whole different set of skills and synergies for the other characters and let you get farther in the game. And then boom, 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 and it just keeps going. Like, you get that one character, and now you can progress to this point, but shit starts to get hard again. And you start to see these other character synergies that, oh my god, if I just had this character, then this character and this character could do this together. And so you gamble on the character. You buy these little random character things that are cheap, 50 cents, $1 every time, or whatever it is. And you get a bunch of characters you don't want until you get the character that you want. It's a gachapon game. And they've gotten, dude, I was watching a fucking video about DSP, Dark Side Phil, for those of you that don't know, long-term like video game streamer / lolcow on YouTube. And they were talking this video, I don't know how true this is, but they were talking in this video. Toy, please. It's wrong. Sorry. Insert another $2. Hey Paul, just had the urge to give you money. Well, thanks, Jason. No, they found this guy Darkside Phil's account on this WWF gotcha game called WWE Wrestling. It's called WWE Champions, and it's basically just a ripoff of fucking Candy Crush. It's like a WWE game where you match the gyms or whatever, and that's how you pull a move. And they looked at his account, and he's like or at least at one point was in like the top 5 in the world at this game. And they did some math on it about like the amount of money that you'd have to spend in order to get to that level. And they thought that over the course of the like 5 years that he's played it, the dude has spent $40,000. $40,000 on his account. $40,000 worth of fucking rolls. So that he can get the wrestler that he wants. He gets like you buy packs of cards or whatever, and you open them, and you get a new wrestler, and then you put that wrestler on your team, and then you get better moves when you clear the gyms and shit. And it was just like, so the people were explaining the whole gotcha like model. and there are three types of people that play gotcha games. Where is toy, dude? You got to keep trying, man. Eventually, you'll get the toy you want. Trust me. There are three types of people that play gotcha games, and they're all there's fish, dolphin, and whale. So a fish is your average gotcha game player. They might spend like $5 on a game to buy gems and shit to give themselves a little head start, and then they get bored, and they're definitely not looking to buy any more in the game, and so they either stop playing it or whatever. They keep playing it at the level that they're at casually. That's a fish. A dolphin is somebody who's like, all right, I play this game, I'm frugal about it, but I don't mind spending, $30-$40 a month or something, buying little extra things for this one game. That's a dolphin. That's like something like 20% of people that play these mobile games fall into that category. It's something like somewhere between $15 and $30 a month on a game or whatever it is, right? They'll buy the little gem packs or buy the little rando packs. And then there's whales. And this is something like 2% to 5% of people. But these are people that spend like $50 to $150 a month or more on just random rolls in the game or upgrades in the game or whatever. This is the best gotcha game 10 to 10 would play against. See, dude, eventually, and I tell you what, dude, the next time you play, you'll get the toy that you want, probably. Maybe. Probably not.
People have gone broke with that, like kids getting a hold of their phones and just playing a stupid game like that.
Parents are so stupid to hand a phone with a fucking like Apple ID logged in or whatever to a kid with purchases already, like just at least now I think Apple has interceded because you have to put your you have to do your face thing now on the new phone, at least on this one. When I've never done an app purchase, but even to download something from the App Store, I've got to like boop. Oh yeah, dude, kids, and not just on the mobile games either, like, because this whole gotcha mentality has come to video games, like normal video games as well. Like, look at the most popular types of video games right now: Fortnite, right? Apex Legends, these battle royale shooters that have taken off like a fucking rocket with younger people. They are all based around a randomized loot box model, where it's like, you're and a lot of those, it's all just fucking like cosmetics. It's not even shit that makes you better at the game. It's just shit that you can swag off. Like, it's like, oh yeah, when people see me in the game, my knife is glowing red, and they know that I'm a fucking badass because I spent 10 grand fucking trying to get this burning knife. I shit you not, bro. It's fucking crazy on what's that fucking game? I always forget. Counter-Strike, that Counter-Strike fucking CSGO. Yeah. Dude, people will get, like, the loot box gambling in that game is fucking insane because people will pay insane amounts of money for these knives that are fucking super rare. And all the knife is just a visual thing on your character. Like, it doesn't do anything in the game. It's just something that you see when your character's running and you pull the knife out. You know what I mean? It makes you run a little faster in Counter-Strike to have your knife out rather than your gun. And so basically, people pay thousands of dollars looking for a knife, and all it is just something that shows up on their character model when they're running around in the game. So you can see it bobbing in front of you until you pull your gun out. It's like thousands of dollars? Yeah, you can actually buy the real knife. You can get like a real knife that looks like the knife that you want in the game for cheaper than it takes to get the Sprite knife. I saw something about two dudes who made a couple million a year on CSGO just selling skins. Dude, I fucking fully believe it. My brother used to spend hundreds on CSGO skins. Fucking believe it. My roommate paid for a class by selling a CSGO knife skin he forgot he had. See? That's what I'm talking about, bro. My mom accidentally let my sister get some Roblox credits. Google saved her card info, and she ended up spending 500 Australian dollars. Jesus. Dude, that's a paddling right there. I would have got my ass whooped. I remember one time, this is a fucked up story. So I remember my mom I came home one day and my mom and stepdad, this is when I was still a teenager, were fighting. And this was something very rare. They don't fucking argue. And I could hear them fighting, my mom yelling at him and him going like, I didn't do fucking anything. So here's what had happened. Basically, my little sisters had called one of these chat lines, not even a porno line, just like one of these chat lines that used to exist back in the day where it's like free for the first 5 minutes and then 150 after that or whatever the fuck. And they just automatically charge your fucking phone account.
Like Phonomegal?
Yeah, basically. Yeah, pre-internet phone omegle. And it was all just like, you know, I mean, it was basically to flirt with people and to fuck around with people or whatever. And they were all, and they spent like some $500 fucking dollars. And my mom looked at it and looked into the charges and thought it was like a phone porn line and thought that my stepdad had done it. She brought it to me first and was like, did you make it? I was like, are you fucking kidding me? Did I make a call that cost you money? I was like, hell no, I ain't got no money to pay you for that shit. And so she believed me right off. And she, at this point, hadn't been with my stepdad for very long. So she thought, well, it must be him. He's fucking calling a porn line behind the scenes. And so they were in there fighting, not like horribly, like at each other's throats, but they were having an argument about it. And my little sisters were in their room crying. And I was like, what's going on? And they're like, who's this that did it? I was like, you better go fucking tell. They're going to break up. Like, listen, mom's all fucking pissed. You better go fucking fess up. And they did. They went in there and fucking fessed up. It was us. We called the fucking... It was just a chat line. My mom didn't understand. She's a boomer. You know what I mean? She just thought all 1-900 numbers were, you know, call sexy singles or whatever. Yeah, just ridiculous shit, dude. And I'm telling you, like, that shit is, like, infinitely worse now. Back in the day, that's all there was those stupid phone things that you could call. Did they get a slap on the wrist? Of course they did, because they never got in trouble for fucking shit, bro. Can I just be real with you? My little sisters never got in trouble for fuck all. Of course they didn't have to pay. You know what my ass would have been doing? Odd jobs around the neighborhood until that shit was paid off. Guaranteed, not a penny of that would have went unpaid back. They didn't have to pay shit back. They got fucking they get grounded or whatever for a week, and they cried, and they got out of it. They never got punished for shit. I took all the fucking heat, man. Who did she come to first with that shit? Just ask yourself that question. Who was the first one in the house that got interrogated about the 1-900 number? The fucking smartest one in the house, the least likely one to have done it. Dude, being a big brother is bullshit. Let me just tell you. It has its advantages and shit, but I'm telling you, man, this whole the cultural bullshit they drape over, like, boy children over female children is just ridiculous. Don't call my fucking sister soft-brained again. If I want to make fun of my sister or talk about my sister, I can, but you keep her fucking whole existence out of your mouth. She's smarter than 3 of you. Just so you know, James. I wonder what it would take for regulations to be put in place to help mitigate these loot box gambling crap and gaming. Now old crusties can't figure it out and won't. Good tidings. Yeah, I don't know, bro. Yeah, you people need to know better than to, like, even insinuate anything about my family. I don't care what it is. I don't even care if it's a little side mouth joke. You keep my family's name out of your mouth. I'm the eldest and got the dick on everything. Yep, that's the way it is, dude. It's eldest and being a boy too. That combination is like, it's poison. Yeah, I don't understand that, dude. Whatever, I'm not gonna fucking harp on it, but it's just like, dude, it's not. You don't know my sister. My sister's fucking brilliant. She may be a Christian, but she's one of the fucking smartest people I have ever met. You don't come in here and call somebody you don't know soft-brained. My sister would fucking run circles around you, bro. Guaranteed. My eldest niece would run circles around you, let alone the woman that raised her. People assume too goddamn fucking much, bro. That's the thing. Like they presume familiarity with me because I've talked about my disagreements with my sister or how different my sister and I are when it comes to religion. They think they can sneak in a little fucking comment. You don't know my fucking sister, bro. You don't know my family. I wonder what it take with regulations to be put in place to... Oh, yeah, I already read that. Yeah. I really don't know. There's so much money being made. I really don't see any impetus for... Yeah, please, if you don't mind. And I know. I mean, like, dude, that's why it pissed me off so much, is because my sister being a Christian is not a sign of some intellectual failing in her life. She's literally one of the smartest people I've ever fucking met. She blew through college. She did a 4 and change year teaching degree in 3 years. She took 20 credit semesters. I've never seen somebody chew through fucking books faster than her. So don't, you know, it's assumptions. People just make assumptions about other people. Yeah.
There's definitely still people stuck in the fucking edgelord atheist days.
I mean, even back then in those days, though, I talked about my sister and I differing on religion, but I never shit talked her.
Yeah. No, I just mean like the general our atheism kind of types.
Yeah. Well, we were talking about that today in the grease trap that we filmed, or maybe I think it was the video that the show that we filmed today. It was. We were talking a little bit about, and we talked about it here, about like the whole YouTube atheism thing and how it, but me and TJ, as we were talking about, we came to a realization that there was a huge failing in that first movement. Like, because we attacked religion directly rather than the magical thinking behind religion. And that has not gone away. So religion has evaporated for the most part. It's dying here in America. The numbers are obscene. It's like in 1995, like something like 70% of people identified as religious. And now it's something like 45% of people in America. Like, it's a staggering number of people have eschewed religion, but the magical thinking that makes religion actually dangerous is still there, in the form of anti-vaxxing, in the form of over-belief in the fucking political system. All this magical fucking thinking is still there. That it all underlines a lot of the worst impulses of Americans. Magical religious thinking. And that's where when I say we, I mean people that fought in the fucking great debate wars or whatever the fuck. We as a collective on the side of reason and rationality went way too hard at the religion itself, because we succeeded in undermining and making look stupid the kind of system of religion, but didn't do a good enough job undermining the magical thinking underneath it. We spent too much time focused on the Bible and the Quran and the Torah and tearing down direct religious arguments, and not enough time talking about the real pernicious thing underlying religion, which is magical thinking, religious thinking. You think religion overstepped its ability to police morality in the 90s, causing its decline? So here's what happened. Religion tried and failed to grow with extraordinarily changing times. And that's what happened in the 90s. That's why so many of us kids in the 90s walked away from it as an idea. Because religion was condescending to us. You know, like how things will condescend to kids now? Like commercial-wise? Well, religion was that way in the 90s. Hey, man, it's cool to love Jesus or whatever the fuck. And that was just the lamest fucking shit in the world. We read it like an open book, and it was just like, no. It was just like, yeah, Christianity tried to be rad or dope or cool or whatever the fuck, right? They say, hello, fellow kids. But they're selling this old fucking system of morality that our parents were, it just didn't work. We were too smart for it. Like it just, they didn't work hard enough to update their image. Now, if they really wanted to be cool and rad, what they could have done is grown as a faith and eschewed some of the negativity out of their faith. Like if they had dropped the anti-gay bigotry and shit, that would have went a long way to making inroads with young people in the 90s and early 2000s. But they couldn't do that.
But now they're starting to do it.
Right. But now it's too little too late. Now a whole fucking generation and a half of people have turned their back on this shit. So it's dead. The actual old institutions of religion are dead. But all of the goddamn shit that underlies it, all of the bullshit, all of the miraculous thinking and all that shit, it survived and then some. Now it's just wrapped up in the fucking political system. It's wrapped up in American exceptionalism. It's wrapped up in false beliefs about your own position in society. Politics became the new fucking religion. And now it's like that magical thinking has just carried itself into fucking politics. And that's how you get people saying that, like, it's mathematically better to elect Joe Biden. That's how you get a literal thinking human being to ignore the fucking pattern of negativity in electoral politics so hard that they'll fucking talk about this electoral cycle like it's the only electoral cycle. It's magical thinking. It's miraculous thinking. It's the same shit. But it's coming out of the mouths of intellectuals, young thinkers. And it's way more pernicious because politics are real. Jesus, you can't reach out and talk to Jesus. You can't interview Jesus. But you put all your faith into a politician? Woo doggy. That's a real person. And so that's really where it failed. That's why the religious numbers, that's why I was telling you, looking at the religious numbers and the fall in religiosity in this country is a false positive indicator. It's Michael Landon. Touched by an angel guy. All right, that's actually a pretty funny fucking... he got timed out rightfully, but... Michael Landon, dude.
You can't expect the mods to know the memes.
No, it's okay. No, he deserved it. But I got that meme. That's an 80s meme. Wish people could just watch soap operas instead of applying that trivial shit to politics. Well, they won't. You can wish in one hand, shit in the other, man. In my custody case, my daughter's mother is Catholic, and I'm irreligious. The court agreed with her that she should be raised religious because she can come to her own conclusion later on her own. Huh? What? Wouldn't the other thing apply then? If she's to come to her own conclusion later on her own, wouldn't not indoctrinating her into her religion be the best? Whatever. Can I just say hallelujah and thank goodness that I don't have a child?
Yeah.
Oh my fucking God. I gotta tell you, I've told you this before, but the older I get, the happier I am that I never oopsied. Because I'm telling you, dude, there was a long period in my life where even if it was unplanned, there would have been a baby. And it's just like fucking happenstance that I couldn't make them. And I'm thankful for that shit. Because I would have had the same shit. I would have a fucking whole ass custody battle. There'd be a difference in religion. There'd be like fucking probably massive disapproval of my lifestyle and my job and all that shit. Would probably I'd be fighting to see my kid. Marriages end, child support doesn't. The alimony doesn't either, bro.
My dad was still paying child support until I was like 20.
Yeah. I believe it. I wasn't always against having a kid. Yeah, no, I was in my late 20s and early 30s. I was gung-ho, man, because that was the life path that I thought I had to take. It's how I was raised. It's like, that's what you do. You get a job, you get married, you have a kid. Get a job, married, house, kid. Get another kid on the way. Get snipped. Raise your 2 kids. Die of stress at fucking 55 years old. That's what it was. It's got to be scary looking back at that. It's weird. It's not really scary. It's just strange. It's just like, you don't realize when things are going on but like your whole life can balance right on a razor's edge of a, potential one way or the other. And that's one of those moments in my life where it's just like, had things been slightly different, or had, I hit the lottery and actually gotten my ex-wife pregnant or whatever the fuck, I'd still be in that marriage, almost certainly. And if I wasn't, I wouldn't be doing what I'm doing now. There's no way I could. I mean, maybe. I don't know. I hesitate to say I wouldn't, but it just seems like my whole life would be upended. Me walking away from my fucking job in the way that I did to go back to school, which is what kind of led me to this. People don't realize it, but there was a lot of tumult in my life right before I started on DP. You know what I mean? I put in my fucking 6 months notice or whatever at my job and went back to school full time. And I was 3/4 of the way through my first semester of school when I left my marriage. So it was just like, big, weird time in my fucking life, bro. You talk about living by the seat of your pants. A lot of people don't realize that shit, dude. That shit cost me the Thanos price. Literally, I Thanosed everything in my life.
Or more.
Yep. I feel like more men than admit it wouldn't have kids if they truly realized the option. Most people just take it as a given because all animals multiply. I don't know. I think a lot of men want to have kids. I think a lot of men relish the idea, like women do probably, of having like this little person that you are responsible for, that you can mold into being a good person, and then hoping that that little person gets better than you did as a child, hoping that you can learn from the mistakes of your parents and the people adjacent to you and raising you, and shield your child from that and give them a better chance and give them a better blah, blah, blah. So, I understand all that shit. That's where I was too. I mean, that was my thought process behind it as well. But it was also, there was this pounding social normalcy that was required of me. It was just like, dude, people do it without even realizing. It's like all my friends at the age when I started trying to have kids and got married, all my friends were popping kids. And so when that starts happening, there's an implicit social pressure to do the same because everybody's lives are changing. Now all your drinking buddies can't really drink as often because they got a kid they got to look after, and they're into different shit, and they start to kind of change, and it's like you feel like, oh fuck, man, I'm gonna be left behind. So there's an implicit social pressure, and then there's explicit social pressure. Everywhere you go as a young married couple, you will be asked, when are you gonna have kids? When are we gonna hear the pitter patter of little feet? And it's good natured. right? But it's all meant to enforce conformity. We had kids. When are you? When are you gonna take the bargain here? Come on, we had them. Come on, don't you want this? Because if you don't want it, then it somehow undermines in their mind what they did.
They want camaraderie.
Yeah, exactly. They want misery loves company, bro. It's just the truth. So many parents say I would never not have my kids now that I have them, but and go on some rant about careers they could have had. Yeah, I know, dude. It's kind of like, look, I'm not trying to undermine parents. It's a noble pursuit and shit, and it's a tough thing, and it's a human thing. I can't be an antinatalist as much as I want to be because, you know what, the truth of the matter is I would have bred just as quick as any other fucking human if I had the equipment to do it. You know what I mean? I just happen to fucking be denied that chance. But you know, so I can't be a hypocrite and stare down other people doing it. That being said, I think we really do need to examine some of the fucking reasons why people do this shit.
Well, for that magical thinking you're talking about, a lot of people have kids because of that magical thinking. Like they're just, they symbolize their kid. Like
Yeah.
This kid's gonna do X, Y, and Z.
Well, you know what a lot of kids are? They're called Band-Aid babies.
Yeah.
And it's like people have a fucked up marriage and they think, you know what's going to force us to come together and find common ground? A baby. And it's just like, man, you talk about the wrong reason to have a fucking child.
Yeah.
Because if you already have tumult in your relationship, the opposite is going to happen with a child. At first, you're going to come together because it's a crisis having a baby. Not like necessarily the same type of crisis as like a fire, but it's like your whole life changes. Yeah. Your whole sleep schedule changes. You're now fucking waking up 10 times a night to feed a baby, and you're wiping ass, and you're fucking bathing, and you're dealing with fucking diaper rash and all this shit. But once you get into the groove of it, all the problems that were present in your marriage are still there waiting for you. Hello, we're still here. And now you got the added stress of a child. So many people, dude. So many fucking people have those fucking Band-Aid babies. Mike Landon, quit having fucking side conversations, bro. Take a fucking 300-second timeout, and this is the last one you're getting. I don't know why you're getting another one. I want you to read the rules. And if you don't abide by every single one of them, your ass is grass. No side conversations. You should not be talking to anybody else in this fucking chat. This is not a place for you to socialize. Post the rules for this fool. Would you say there are as many people that have Band-Aid dogs? Yes. Yes, absolutely. You know what I mean? People will get a dog thinking that it'll, I don't know. It's just stupid. It's magical thinking. Getting a dog will cause our love to blossom. And we will find common ground in raising the little dog and dealing with the foibles of the dog. Dog just becomes a chess piece in your little angsty fight.
I'm not saying don't adopt dogs, but
No.
don't do it for that reason.
Just don't get a dog to fix your fucked up relationship. That's not why you get a dog. He won't cheat on me once we're married, yeah, or she. You know what I mean? Yeah, if I put a ring on it, you know, if you liked it, then you should have put a ring on it. Don't be mad when he wants it. If you liked it, you should have put a ring on it. Like, what do you think that I mean, it's a catchy tune, but it's like, that's social pressure, the song. That's the female, like, I'm gonna fuck other people unless you marry me. Well, that's not why you get married. You don't marry somebody so they'll stop fucking other people. That's not it.
I mean, to be fair, like, marriage used to have totally different meaning not too long ago.
Oh, yeah. As an institution, especially when you're talking about, like, between two people who are married,
Yeah.
you have wide latitude to define what that marriage is now that you wouldn't have 100 years ago. 100 years ago, you and me being married, number one, it's kind of interesting. Socially, wouldn't be weird at all, our age difference. And the way that it is now, 100 years ago, totally normal for a man my age to marry a woman your age.
Years ago.
Even younger than you. It would be totally normal for a man my age to marry an 18-year-old or a 19-year-old or something. Not fucking defending it, I'm just saying. That fucking level of age difference was totally normalized back then, but what wasn't normalized is this kind of self-discovery through marriage thing. Marriage was the woman signing a contract to serve you, basically. That would have been it for you. No options for you, no schooling, no nothing, no decisions about...
Well, that's what girls would do in high school a lot of times. Like, they would get married and have a kid at, like, 16, drop out of high school.
Yep.
It was like that or get a job, and there weren't a lot of job options, so it was like...
The get a job wasn't an option 100 years ago.
Yeah.
You found a man, that was your job. Your job was homemaker. So you found a man, you accepted his seed, you raised his children, you cleaned his house and cooked his meals. That was it. That was your life. And while that has fundamentally changed, the pressures behind all of that are still woven deep into the fabric of our culture. And that's what we're talking about, that social pressure that I was talking about, where all your friends start asking you because they've got kids, when you gonna have kids? And it's just like once again, your conformity underscores the correctness of their choice. I don't want to shit talk my friends, but I recently got back together with a bunch of friends that I hadn't seen in a long time. I told you guys, a close friend of mine had his son pass away in a tragic car accident. And so I got together with a bunch of people that I hadn't seen in fucking years for the funeral. And, people hadn't seen me for fucking years. You know what I mean? And there's a lot, I know there's a lot of chatter and shit about what happened with me. And so it was I could tell it was very strange for them to see me. I felt kind of like a fish out of water amongst my own friends. I hung with them anyway. And not everybody went out of their way to make me feel that fucking way. And I don't think anybody went out of their way to make me feel that way. But the divergence of our lives became so stark. It was like all of them had children. Every last one. All of my friends have children. There's not a single fucking friend that I have that is childless. There's not a single fucking friend that I have that works for themselves. They all got jobs with big companies or local companies, and now they all work good paying, middle income jobs that fucking, they got a little house mortgage and they got a kid or 2 or 3, and that's it. To the letter, bro. And so when they started, they didn't really ask me in the same way that they used to about it. Like when are you going to do it? Because now it's spread around that I can't, to most of my friends, right? Like that, it's not like I kept it a secret or anything, but it's just like, that has gotten around that like Paul is infertile. He can't really make babies. And so it's more questions about it. And when I started answering the questions, people just wanted to move on because I thought back on it because it bothered me. It was like, people would ask me like, what's it like, like not having kids? Like, do you think that you want to adopt because it's like, or is this it for your life? And I would start saying like, dude, when back in my fucking 30s, back when I was with the ex and stuff, we were trying, man. And I really saw that path for my life, but it's like, you get the test that finds out you can't do it and you start rethinking things. And I'm telling you, man, there's upsides to not having a kid. And it's like, at that point, that's when it was just like, hey, yeah. So anyway, some other fucking topic. Because at that point, I didn't mean it. I was undermining their decision. You know what I mean? They don't want to hear that, like, there's upsides to not having kids.
Or upsides even to working for yourself.
That's another thing.
Yeah.
It's like they don't... It's strange to me. Some of my family and friends are intensely over-interested in what I do. And, like, intent on not understanding it, almost. They look at it like it's like not they don't not undermining it, but just like not understanding it. And so they're super interested in it. And then some people just don't understand it to the point where I think they don't ask. And so it's very strange. You know what I mean? It's not fragility, dude. I'm not trying to fuck on my friends. I'm just saying, like, there's a mindset of a parent of people my age, and there's a mindset of people my age that don't have kids. And it's a rarer mindset, I guess. People who ask about adoption don't understand that there's a dark side to adoption. I have family members who adopted and regret their decision due to how much pain it brought them and the child. You don't got to tell me, bro. Adoption is never something that should be done lightly. No, I don't know, man. It is what it is. But, I hear them talk, and it's just as foreign to me. They want to share all these anecdotes about their children with me, and I can't fucking understand that shit. Not really. I can understand the basic haha funny story, but like when it comes to like, oh yeah, all I do is work and take care of the kid, and it's great, and they'll show me the pic, and it's wonderful. They'll show me little videos of their children, and I got to meet one of my friend's twin boys for the first time, really, since they've been grown up. I met them when they were babies. But, they're little fucking men now, and they're, like 9 years old. They're running around. It's cool to see it. Like, I can, so I don't mean to be totally negative on it, but on the flip side, it's just like, I can't understand it. Because I don't live it. You know what I mean? I don't have that concern in my life. That's not my thing. Adoption is not bad, bro. Adoption is just something that you should enter into with eyes wide open, because children come to you in various states of need. And a lot of things can happen to an unwanted child in the first 5-6 years of their life or earlier that have echo through the eternity of their life. And you are signing on to take that under your wing and to love it like your own. And that's a very noble thing, but you need to do that with eyes wide the fuck open. Because that's what it is. You just don't know. Mindset of not wanting kids is fragile too in some ways. I don't have the means, the mental fortitude. Well, sure. I mean, like, I can't imagine it. I know I would do it. Like, if something happened and I ended up in having care of a kid and I had to, whether it was mine or just, some family child that was foisted upon me or something in some way that I can't even imagine. Let's just say it happened. I would change the way I did things, and I would do my best, and I'd probably be okay. But I don't want it. That's really the difference. It's like people don't, that's what I feel like that they don't understand, is that they understand that I can't, but they don't understand that I'm not pining for it. That I've come to a place where I'm like, you know what? I'm kind of glad I didn't have kids, because I get to be selfish, And it's true. I don't have to adhere to a certain fucking schedule. As a person, my wife and I can do what we want when we want. And that's a byproduct largely of the fact that we don't want kids and we don't have kids. If we had kids, our schedule becomes that schedule.
The main thing we have with our boys is 6 o'clock is canned food time.
We got to get a can of food at 6 or there's going to be a riot. But other than that, that's our obligation. No, Dinoaur and Cricket, well, yeah, that's a level of obligation, and you got to take care of them, but it's not a kid. It's not a child.
I don't have to teach them morality.
You can't if you try. I don't think it's selfish to not have kids. It's just a different choice and legacy. Nick, why would you don't do it? Quit being stupid. Quit adding each other. Converse with me or take it to DMs. I'm dead fucking serious now. Stop it. Especially you. You've been here, and I've seen those fucking rules in your face so many fucking times, and you're in here adding somebody else, having a fucking paragraph thick conversation with them. Side conversation that if I were to read it, it's totally off topic. Fuck off with that shit. You will be banned up out of here. Your long fucking attendance as a member of this shit is not going to save you. I hate that shit, man. It's such a fucking speed bump. Quit working my fucking mods. They do enough. They do enough dealing with stupid ass fucking no profile pic trolls that just fucking bombard this place constantly. To have actually, like, people that actually participate fucking off in here. And when you come back, don't waste my time apologizing either. Apologize by just abiding by the rules. I don't want to read a "I'm sorry, Paul" paragraph from you, because that's another waste of my fucking time. Stuff your sorries in a sack and just read the goddamn fucking rules and be an adult about it. Go find a Twitch chat to fucking at people in. I'm just done, man. That's right. That's right, buddy. You're willing to understand that their difference in perspective, what you're saying is they're incapable of... Well, yeah, I mean, because there's a social norm that's been violated, right? I'm child-free. I am now 41 years old. I'm married to a much younger woman, and neither one of us want children. And that is the opposite of their lives. They got married to women that want children, or got married because, in a couple of instances, no judgment, because they had children, right? That's another thing, is like, the opposite is true. A lot of people will have these Band-Aid babies, and a lot of people will have these, like, shotgun babies, where it's like, okay, well, we were just dating, but now there's a baby, so I guess we're married now. You know what I mean? It's like, man, dude, if the what we talked about earlier is true, that having a baby to fix your marriage doesn't work, then the inverse is true. Starting a marriage because of a baby, it doesn't work. Cement babies, yeah, anchor babies. The true anchor babies. I can't imagine parents would also be comfortable thinking of their life without children, because maybe they'd feel bad if they'd... Well, here's what I think. And, dude, this is total fucking speculation on my part, but I'm going to throw it out there anyway, because they speculate about me, so I'm going to speculate about them. I think that belying the uncomfortability with my lifestyle is a deeply suppressed part of themselves that feels horribly guilty because they imagine their life without children. And they imagine how much more money they would have and how much more freedom they would have to travel with their wives and shit had they not had these babies. And they feel guilty about considering that and looking at that as a positive. I genuinely, honestly believe that. And maybe I'm wrong. I'm not a fucking parent, so it might just be wrong. But I do honestly think that, at least for some of the people in my life, and maybe just broadly amongst my peer group in general, a person like me who is child-free and kind of cool with it and not shy about, like, talking about how good it is for me, that is going to trigger those fucking kind of thoughts. And I think that all parents probably have to have that type of thought. There's no way that you cannot have like an 8-year-old and have them screaming and crying or something and have just the passing thought of like, if I hadn't had this child, I could be like kicked back right now with a beer, my feet up, and maybe going on a vacation this weekend instead of going to this fucking football camp thing. And you know what I mean? There's no way that doesn't... I'm not saying that they look at their whole parenthood that way or their child that way, but those thoughts have to crop up in fucking parents.
It's more magical thinking, like thinking that's something to be guilty over.
Right.
It's like, it's a thought.
Dude, guilt is one of those things that most people walk around with too goddamn much of anyway.
Yeah.
And to be guilty over a fucking thought in your head, not a thought, not a that hoe over there thought, a thought in your head. If they hadn't had the child, they could have spent all that money and time building a business. Well, that's the thing, is like, you know, I have to think that those ideas pop up into the brains of parents. And I'm living it. You know, I'm not bragging or anything, but I'm living that example. Like, for me and Amelia to take a vacation, it's not that big a deal. Like, not, I can't just like splash out and do a year of travel or some shit. Obviously, I have a job. But, you know, if we wanted to fucking go to New York to visit, her family that lives in that area, or if we wanted to go down to Louisiana and visit the guys, if we wanted to, like, no thank you, but I'd rather them come here like they're doing. But you get my drift. It's not a big deal for us because we set aside the money that we don't spend feeding a couple of children. So best job, true. I do have a fucking great job, but I'll tell you what, dude, you want a job like the job I've got, you gotta be willing to claw every motherfucker's eyes out on the way to the top, or to the way to the fucking middle. You just gotta be willing to fucking take whatever comes at you and never give up on it and have faith in it and shit and push it and push it and push it and go through really hard, lean times with it. Boom, 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 boom. Otherwise, you just can't have it, man. A lot of people don't realize that. Like, it's... What was that song? This is 20% luck, 20% pain. What was that stupid fucking song? You remember that shit? You probably don't. You were probably in middle school when that song came out. This is 10% luck, 20% pain, 70% power to remain in the game, 80% skill. Remember the name? That's the, yeah. Oh yeah, 15% concentrated power of will. Fort Minor, yeah. Okay, that's the one. Fort Minor, remember the name.
That was 2005.
So yeah,
it wasn't even middle school.
Just had a moment. It's okay. So it happens. It happens. Whew. Just had a robbed the cradle moment. It's okay. It's all right. I was in kindergarten in 2005. Oh, fuck you, Will Novak. I was in primary school. Man, fuck you people. Fuck all you youngsters. Dude, that song... never mind. To me, that song is like... it didn't happen that long ago. Let's just put it that way. It's relatively new in my world.
Alright. We don't need to know everyone's age in the chat.
They're just trying to fucking double down and compound my fucking pain, and it's working, dude. I'm thinking of myself changing the channel away from that unlistenable song, and all the people now that are my fans being like literally in diapers, crapping diapers, as I'm driving to work and going, not this fucking song again, bro. Nope, let's check the classic rock channel and see what's going on over there. You know what I mean? And I got every goddamn problem that a fucking grown-ass person has, and all you motherfuckers were literally poo-pooing in your diapers, dude. That was your problem, was shitting your pants on the daily and figuring out how to stop doing that. You know what I mean? Oh my God, bro.
It's okay.
I know it's okay. It's as okay as it can be.
There's shit that I'll talk about that you're like,
Well, it's the same thing with me. Like I'll what was it? The other day something happened where I just like assumed that you knew something about something because it isn't that long ago, but you were like, I was in middle school when this came out.
and I think it was that movie we were just watching about the 2008 election. I was like, I probably
That's what it
don't-
was.
I probably don't remember most of this.
That's what it was. I was like, well, you remember like Palin came out and everybody was shot, and you were like, dude, I was in grade school.
I vaguely remember people making fun of her. I couldn't remember why.
And that blows my mind that you. So in 2008, you were in middle school.
I was 10. Push through this.
Husa. We're fine. No, we do have fun, though. It's cute. Because she'll do the same shit. She'll bring up some Zoomer shit, and I'm like...
I think I brought up JoJo once, and you went through like 10 different options.
Dude, I was like Casey and JoJo. The guys that sang, all my life, I pray for someone. And you're like, no, dude, I don't even know that song. I'm talking about JoJo. I'm like, oh, JoJo Siwa? No. JoJo. I'm like, oh, God, man. Mojo Jojo, yeah. The villain in Powderpuff Girls? Or, sorry, Powerpuff Girls. That's another thing.
Yeah.
I was already old when that show came out. Graduated high school in 08. Yeah. All right, stop reminding me how fucking old I am. Look, I know how old I am. I was reminded how fucking old I am I went to the doctor today to get my fucking ear infection taken care of. And that was just a big reminder of how my body is just disintegrating as I get old. So my ears, this ear over here doesn't look good. And, kind of intoned that I would have hearing loss as I got older, probably. And I'm just like, cross that bridge when we come to it. Cross that bridge when we come to it. But that bridge is looming in the horizon for me. And for all of you, you guys can still be like, that bridge, whatever. And I'm getting to that age where I'm not at the bridge yet. But I know the bridge is up and around the ways here. Which age did you dread the most? I'll be honest with you, I've never really dreaded an age. Like, a lot of people had a big old fucking meltdown, like not meltdown, but like a lot of people in my friends group put a lot of importance on 30. But I was so locked into a cycle of work, sleep, that 29 to 30 just... You know what I mean? It just breezed on by my fucking ass. And then 40, that was another one that I think a lot of people thought, a lot of people, at least I thought, I was really going to have some kind of existential problem at 40. No. 39 and 40 and 41, I really haven't done it. Do you ever have trouble regulating your sleep schedule when you worked at the school district? Dude, I was a zombie when I worked at that fucking place. And it wasn't even... It was just because I was so fucked up at that time in my life, like mentally. I had untreated, rampaging, out of control anxiety. Like unaddressed, undiagnosed. And I didn't know what it was and didn't know how to deal with it. And it was, well, those of you that have anxiety can empathize with what that is, man. Up all night, unable to fucking sleep, because I know that as I'm fucking laying there, more work is piling up, and I know that, like, I used to get locked into this anxious cycle of thinking where I'd be like, I'd lay there and I'd try to go to sleep, and then I'd look at the clock and it'd say 2 a.m. And I would do the math in my head. I would be like, oh, I have to wake up in 4 hours. So if I fall asleep right now, I'll get 2 REM cycles if I'm lucky. Okay, let's do it. And then I'd open my eyes again, like what I thought was like 20 minutes later, and I'd look and it was fucking 3:30. And I'm like, that happened almost every night. And then I would wake up exhausted and dump an immense amount of caffeine down me to make myself functional enough to do my job. So I would get up in the morning, jump in the shower, brush my teeth, get dressed, get in the car, go directly to a liquor store, buy a pack of Swisher Sweets or cigarettes, depending on what era we're talking about. But the one thing that remained constant was my Monster energy drinks. I would buy 2 of them every morning. And one of them was to down immediately on the way to work. I would chug-a-lug that motherfucker so it was finished by the time I got to my first school site. And then on my first break, I'd run out to my fucking car, or I'd bring it in and put it in a little teacher's fridge or whatever the fuck, and I'd go grab that motherfucker on my first break and chug that. And then, because you get like your 10-minute break before lunch or whatever, so that's when I'd chug that, like 10 a.m. or some shit. And then my lunch around 1 or 2, usually I would go out and I'd get another one. Or I would go get fast food with a big Coke or some shit, you know what I mean, to fucking gas up the shit. Then I would go home and have a big caffeine crash, sit on my couch. Well, if I was able to sit on my couch, because remember, during a lot of this time, I had a roommate living with me with a child. So yeah, dude. So anyway, what this led to was what people call a mental breakdown. Or, I don't know, what is it called now? That's what it used to be called.
I mean, I've still, like, heard people say that.
So, right, I had what was called a mental breakdown, where I reached a point where I could not mentally sustain it anymore. My anxiety was being exacerbated by the lack of sleep and the abuse I was putting my body through and the caffeine and and I reached a point where, no, not an anxiety attack. We're talking about reaching a point of crisis in your life where you consider like suicide, but just to escape, not necessarily because you hate yourself but just to escape the cycle of, you know what I mean? And I got to that fucking point where I was just like, I started having these thoughts, like I would literally rather be dead than have to do this another 6 months. And I may have to do this another fucking 16, 20 years before I can retire. I'd rather be dead. And I just, that fucking thought got so pervasive in my mind that I had to reach out to somebody finally. And that person ended up being my mom. And I just called her one day. I'd come home from work because I was just shaking. I don't know. I went to work and I was just, I came home and I cried because it was just, I couldn't stop thinking about how I would rather be fucking dead than face this every day, and how I had to do it tomorrow. Like, even though I took a half day today, I got to get up tomorrow. And so I called her, and I told her, like, look, I don't want to spook you or whatever, but I'm thinking about hurting myself because I just can't do it. And she was like, what? Told her, and I just basically told her everything that I hadn't told anybody. How I was having these weird thoughts and these paranoid delusions, and all the shit came tumbling out of my fucking mouth. All this fucking shit that basically it's an anxiety disorder. And she convinced me to get help. And it saved my life. Literally saved my life like a firefighter pulling me out of a fucking burning building. That level. Same shit to me. because I was I was done. I was done.
That's what like a lot of suicide attempts are, honestly. It's like that cry for help.
At this point, I didn't attempt. I'd had attempts when I was younger and more unstable and more prone to drug use and shit, but I was all fucking leveled out at this point. Like in terms of drugs and shit, living a normal straight and narrow. But I like this one was scarier to me than those other ones. Those other ones, I look back on them and they're scary, but they were flighty. This one, I was planning shit. I was planning it. I got a gun. I had this fucking gun that I'd had. All I got to do is get ammo for that motherfucker. It was at that level. So yeah, not good. I couldn't quit. I was in a position where my whole life with my wife at the time depended on my income. She was working on a burgeoning career that had the promise to support us much more in the future, but that had not expressed yet. And so my money was a big part of how we made our fucking nut. And so I couldn't stop. It meant we lost our house. It meant she lost her car. It meant she lost this. It meant she lost that. I had the weight of all of her needs, and not, this isn't on her. This is how I felt. It was just like, I'm failing. I'm at a point where I can't even fucking bring home the bacon for my wife. I don't have a kid. I was ready. I was ready to go. So that's some dark shit. You know what I mean? And a lot of people don't realize like what it takes to claw yourself out of that. It's tough.
That's what I got at Amazon.
What?
That's what I got at Amazon.
Yeah. They used you up, right? Mentally and physically until you were just, and you're meant.
It happened early on too. And
Yeah.
I went back with all the support I had because I had to.
Of course. So many people are able to live a life they don't like forever. I couldn't cut it. Had my scanner darkly covered, door moment, and cracked. Yeah, I mean, I think everybody has to face that. But you know what's fucked up? Through it all, I had to keep working. I couldn't stop. It's not like I could take a sabbatical or some shit and take 6 months to get my head on straight. I had to go to work and go through all that and then drive immediately to my fucking counselor, who was a town over from me, way the fuck out. It was an hour drive both ways, so 2-hour commute to go see my fucking therapist.
It was probably another hour.
Huh?
That was probably another hour that you were there too.
Right. So I would go see my therapist, sit down for an hour, hour and a half therapy session, and then turn right around and come back. 3 times a week. Sometimes 2. That was in addition to all the bullshit, just having to continue to fucking uphold that job. I couldn't take time off. I eventually ended up taking FMLA leave, which was one of the best things I ever did. And I had to, I had to be convinced by this fucking guy to do it, my therapist. He was like, listen to me. People do this all the time. He's like, when did you start work? And I told him, I said, well, I mean, what do you mean? He said, when did you get a job, your first job? I said, 15. He said, how old are you now? At this point, I was like 35, 34. He said, you've been working over half your life. You can take a break. You're entitled to a medical break. And so I took a month of FMLA, and it was like fucking, it saved my life. He said, I want you to take a walk every day, and that's all I did. I would just go and take, like, not even a long walk. I'd walk around my block, and I would sit and be depressed. But you know what? It fucking allowed me to reboot my brain enough to where I was able to go back to that job and face it again. FMLA, by the way, is Family Medical Leave Act.
And it works another way too. Like I had the kind where I could take 4 days off a month, so instead of taking one long FMLA, I just had it like as needed basis shit.
Yeah.
Which you can do too.
Yeah. Were you in the teachers union? No, I was in the educational employees union, which is the support union for teachers. So adjacent to the teachers union and with the support, usually minor support of the teachers union, but not the teachers union. I was in it's a state employees union.
Yeah, but FMLA is like a
That's a federal thing. Yeah. Everybody's entitled to it.
Yeah, you have to work there a year, and you have to be full-time, right. And that's it.
Yeah, if you're a full-time worker and you've been at your job for a year, you can, with the doctor's obviously, fucking recommendation, they cannot deny you FMLA leave. It's like a federal law protecting your right to go have a mental breakdown, basically.
Or if, like, you're taking care of a family member that's sick or whatever. Right. Yeah.
My ex left during one such an experience. Took me forever to get over that perceived betrayal in addition to the depression. Oh, sure. Oh, look, wolf spider. Big boy. See him?
Oh. Yep.
Yep. That's a big boy right there.
You just keep being a cool big boy over there.
He will. Don't worry. He ain't gonna do nothing to you.
No, I just mean, like, be cool and make a web. And
yeah, go
catch these flies.
Yeah, go make a web and catch these fucking wood roaches and shit and flies that we see out here, buddy. You are most welcome to set up over here. Look at that light right there. That's a good fucking spot, and I don't see any webs. That's all you. Got a new spider, bro. Hip hip hooray. Yeah.
Come on, buddy.
He's heading over there. He's making his way.
Just don't go in the house, because Cricket will eat you.
Yeah, don't go in there, bro. Stay out here, trust me. This is where most of the bugs are at. The one or two bugs that make it in there, trust me, they're taken care of, bro. Something's hunting them right now. I don't know what the connective tissue was between what we were talking about and that whole fucking thing, but there, oh shit. Mosquito eater, you don't want to fly down there again.
We're having a nature moment.
Yeah, dude. All right, because you're going to get snatched.
I don't think that spider's going to wait for a web.
I like you too, you're good too. You eat mosquitoes, I'm fine with that.
But we're about to have an epic battle.
Oh boy.
Here.
Dun 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 dun. Dude, if it was bright enough, I'd show you guys this, but you wouldn't be able to see shit. Too low light right now. But yeah, dude, there's a moment. That motherfucker saw that other thing. He's hunting it now.
Hiding behind the wire.
Oh yeah, he's crawling over it, sneaking up on this motherfucker. Look at him go. Dun 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 bum 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 do 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 Bum, 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 bum. Dun, dun, dun. Do, 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 do. Bum, 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 bum. Dude, what are you doing?
Gotta get the drop.
Is that what he's gonna try to do? Just drop onto it?
I don't know.
Maybe he doesn't want it. Is he giving him a pass?
Oh shit.
All right. I don't know why you gave that guy a pass, dude. That's a juicy ass meal for you. But whatever you want. Oh yeah, that game Grounded. So it's like a survival game for like multiple players, and you play. It's like basically Honey I Shrunk the Kids, the game.
Mm-hmm.
You play somebody that's been shrunk down to like the size of a grain of sand, basically.
Is that Bethesda game?
I think it is. Yeah.
I remember seeing the trailer.
Yeah. And so in that game, I was watching a streamer that I watched named Skin Teen play it, and those spiders. As soon as I saw them, I was like, "Dude, I want TJ to play this game. TJ has to play this game, dude." TJ would literally fucking die when those spiders came out. He hates a spider.
Like you with the Alien Isolation.
Yep. Because it doesn't bother me. I mean, they're creepy as fuck, but it doesn't bother me on the level that it was bothering TJ for sure. Yeah. TJ was not happy, well, TJ would not be happy with them spiders. They're creepy as fuck. They're huge, malevolent, evil demon beings. Yeah, buddy, go on now. You know what I'm gonna do though? I'm gonna make sure, just for my own fucking edification, that you are what I think you are, a wolf spider and not a fiddleback. Okay. Yeah. Yeah, you're a wolf. You're fine. Just making sure. Because you were about to get the shoe.
If it was a fiddleback?
Yeah.
What's the difference?
Well, a fiddleback is a brown recluse.
I see.
And they are one of the most poisonous spiders in North America. And they, they're all over the fucking...
I mean, like, what does it look different?
It has a fiddle on its back.
I see.
If you look, you can look it up. Look up brown recluse. And they've got like a fiddle shape on their back. It's very rare for them to be out and about. They're called brown recluse for a reason. Mm-hmm. But they're a dangerous spider. And they're about that size, so...
Yeah, they got like a...
very distinctive shape on their back.
Like a dimple on their back.
Mm. Well, wolves don't make webs. They're nocturnal ground hunters. Well, then, whatever. Set up shop over here, then. Mm-hmm. I'm fine with that. Yeah. I see a brown recluse out here. They're getting the shoe. They're getting the boot.
Yeah, it's still out here.
Das Boot.
It's just living out here now.
It has to. You
never know.
You never know when I'm going to need to coup de grace a critter out here. Just happens. We got foxes leaving us presents now.
Yeah. I didn't even think that they could do that, but that's obviously what it was.
I can't think of another reason for it. They left it out here on our porch.
Yeah.
By the way, we should probably put some water for them if there's none. Yeah, it's just a little left, huh? We'll see if they give us some more if we fill up the water. I want another chicken skull. Bum, bum, bum. Dun, dun. They're very cat-like. Yeah, I remember somebody saying dog hardware, cat software. That's basically a fox. And I after watching these little guys and the way that they are, I tend to agree. They are very cat-like. You know what else is very cat-like? Coyotes. Seeing that fucking big bull coyote that day, that was one of the coolest nature experiences I've had in a long time. That motherfucker was like a gargoyle. It was crazy how he made himself look bigger. Wish I would have like had my camera take some cool pictures of that motherfucker.
You're more worried about saving Dinoaur.
Well, yeah, I was more worried about him fucking jumping on Dinoaur. Cause that was the dude. He was like, at first I thought he was like somebody's big husky, but then I noticed how he was moving, not like a dog. Where that tail was like, I was like, what the fuck? And then it turned around in the street, saw me, skittered up the side of my neighbor's wall. It stood there, wrapped its tail around itself to make it look bigger, and was just like looking at me like this, like a fucking gargoyle sitting there. And I was like, Dinoaur, come on. I don't want to fuck with this guy. Yeah, the chupacabra, dude. Serious shit. It was crazy. You know, they're very reclusive animals, so you don't see them very often. He was hunting a big old boomer squirrel, and Dinoaur got caught in the middle, chased the squirrel through our property, and ended up running into this fuck in the middle of a hunt, who probably looked at Dinoaur and was like, upgrade, and then looked at me and was like, fuck. Speaking of Dinoaur, where is he?
He's inside.
Okay, good.
He got spooked by the fireworks.
That fucking coyote was crazy. Are bears common in your parts? They are not common, but not unheard of. We're like, I want to say like generously 5.5 miles from the foothills. 6 miles, maybe. So, you know what I mean? That's the bears range down out of the mountains into the foothills during the fucking summer and shit. So it's definitely not unheard of for us to have a bear show up in this area, but I've never seen one. Let's put it that way. Not in this area. I've seen bears. You want to see wild bears? Just unfortunately, just go to Yosemite. You shouldn't see them, but you do. You will. I mean, yeah, there's the California flag has a grizzly on it for a reason. Now, grizzly bear is not the type of bear that would range down this far. You're not going to see a grizzly unless you go well up into the Sierras. Their hunting range is higher up, and their territory tends to be higher up. The type of bear that you'll see here is like the common western black bear. Not that they're not dangerous; they're just as dangerous, but they're more curious. Like they're like nuisances rather than a real danger, because they're not looking to kill people. They're like scavengers. And so you have to have like elaborate ways of protecting your food when you go camping. Yeah. Black bears, I mean, you don't want to fucking go near them. Don't go pet a black bear if you ever see it, because they will take your fucking arm off. But they're not like apex predators. Like grizzly bears are mostly foragers too, but they are way different temperament bear. That's a way more dangerous animal. And anything feline. The most dangerous animal I think that you could run into in California, period, is the California mountain lion. And That's it. In fact, that may be the most dangerous animal predator animal in North America.
In terms of, like, harm to humans specifically.
I would say probably only eclipsed by the moose in terms of, like, how many people are genuinely really wounded by them a year. A lot of people don't understand mooses are just incredibly dangerous animals. A bull moose is so territorial and will fucking pulverize you to death. Wolves, not very dangerous, bro. Like, wolves understand that human beings are not to be fucked with, usually. Now, if you're out in the fucking wilderness bleeding and alone and a pack gets your fucking scent, yeah, you're going to get torn up by some wolves. But, you know, you're also going to get torn up by some bears or whatever the fuck else is out there. I'm just talking about having run-ins with an animal in a normal context. You see a wolf, that wolf is probably going to tuck its ass and run.
You know what I mean? Poking their baby with a stick or something.
You see a black bear, that black bear is likely to ignore you and go after whatever food source is in the area and not pay much mind to you. You see a grizzly, especially if there's a baby grizzly nearby, you better just fucking hope it doesn't see you, I guess. And if it comes for you, you just play dead or some shit. Or hope you have a large caliber weapon, because if you don't, even if you do, grizzly bear is fucked up, but a mountain lion is the most scary thing to me. Because they are absolutely vicious. You watch a mountain lion take some prey. And you tell me you want that on you.
Probably just even watching them fuck.
Oh, God, yeah. Well, cat sex is so fucking, it's basically rape. Horrible, violent, spiky penis rape. They carry 50 cal handguns like, that's what you need, though. You need, like, a deagle to even fuck it. Because, like, if you bring, like, a 45 or, like, a 9, you are not going to drop a grizzly. You can empty a whole clip into a grizzly. It might kill it eventually, but it's going to kill you first. You need something that's got, like, explosive stopping power to turn away a grizzly. A scene from Revenant where DiCaprio gets torn up by a bear. That's a grizzly. And that's insanely one of the fucking most harrowing scenes and really close to what would happen to you if you were attacked by a grizzly bear. You need, like, a high caliber rifle. Like, that's rangers and stuff. They carry high caliber rifles and stuff. You know what I mean? They'll be out there to fight, and that's what you do. You just need something high powered that it has the ability to be fired over and over again. You put 2 or 3 fucking 50 cals into a bear, and you put a 50 cal or 2 into anything, it's not coming at you. You know, unless it's a whale, maybe. A blue whale might come at you still.
Or killdozer.
Or the killdozer, yeah, true that. Can't fucking 50 cal the killdozer. The guides there said that a 44 mag wouldn't crack a grizzly's skull. Not sure if I believe that, but that's what they said. Look, I don't know if I believe that or not, but I think that the point stands. A 44 mag is not going to stop a bear.
Yeah, most people can't fucking aim dead-on brains
No.
in a crisis situation.
No. I mean, like, you can't bring, like, a 38 or, like, a shotgun, you know what I mean, for a bear. It's just not. Sorry. You're just dead. You're just going to piss it off. Well, I mean, it makes you think about what our tactics as a species are. How we became the apex predator on the planet is very different from other animals, right? We work together, because you put a fucking human being naked and alone in the woods, we're nothing. We're like a big walking meat lollipop, and the first big apex predator that comes along is going to eat you. But you put 5 of us armed with 50 cals in the woods, and we're Billy Badass. You know what I mean? Nothing can come for us there. We'll kill everything in the goddamn fucking woods and burn the woods down and build a city on it.
We got like no defenses.
Yep, but our natural defenses, we're soft. Our bodies are weird because they're not, like we're standing up straight, but
we're just showing our fucking hearts to the world.
All our soft organs are right here, and we're just like, hey, everybody. You know what I mean? It's just like we're an absurd species, but it's this thing up here that makes us deadly because we use this to make 50 cals, and nukes. So, yeah, we control matter and energy. We win. We can burn down the forest. We can, create a weapon that flies through the air as any animal is running towards us and destroys them before they can get within a fucking, 100-yard radius of us. Yep, and it's at first that was it. It was group. So we were completely and utterly naked and alone by ourselves, but you get a group of us together, working together with spears, and there's wide evidence that Neanderthals and early man hunted cave bears. Which you talk about a grizzly bear, think about a grizzly bear, but twice the size of a grizzly bear. That's the extinct cave bear. Neanderthals and early man hunted those fucks. Used to go into the caves that they lived in and were like, let's face the cave bear. And the only way that worked is there was 5, 6, 10 of us with spears, and I bet a lot of times in claiming those caves or rooting out the bear or hunting the bear for its meat or whatever they were doing, people lost their lives in those fights. Guaranteed, there were times where a cave bear swiped up a couple of these motherfuckers before they were able to bring it down with their spears, but that shit happened. Crazy, right? There are cave bear skeletons that they've discovered that have like gash wounds in the bones from obsidian spearheads and shit. Yep, they were too dangerous. Well, not only were they dangerous, but they, like back then, think about it. This is a time before houses. So what's a house in a time before houses? A cave. And what was living in the cave? A giant grizzly bear that was vicious and ferocious and an apex predator. So what do you got to do? You and about fucking 8 other tribesmen got to grab your spears and walk into the mouth of that cave when the bear's sleeping and kill it. So you can live in its fucking cave.
I was thinking of that today, like with the heat. We gotta start like moving people back into caves to stay cool.
They're already talking about it. Starting to build cities underground.
Yeah.
Where the fucking rays of the sun aren't penetrating as deep. Mm-hmm. It's gonna happen. Instead of building cities up, this global warming shit is going to inspire people to start building down. Mm-hmm. And you're going to have these virtual environments underground. Mm-hmm. There's one of the Resident Evil movies has an underground facility that at the beginning of the movie you don't know is an underground facility because it has windows and you can see a cityscape outside and everything. And so you assume it's a goddamn skyscraper, but it's basically an inverted skyscraper. And the Umbrella Corporation in the movie put up these fake windows to make people feel like they were outside and they pipe fake city sounds from the streets and shit. But once the system resets, it all glitches out, and you see that they're just in a big giant hole. That's what they're going to start doing. They're going to start building human habitats down. I was reading about this the other day. About how, like, the changes to the way that we make cities that are going to be caused by these heat domes.
Our infrastructure isn't there to fucking give everyone peak AC.
No. Not at all. Like, the Pacific Northwest is going to have to do a huge investment in its power grid. Because they're going to go from an area, especially like Portland to Seattle and up into Canada and shit. They're going from an area where it's laughable to think that you need AC to an area where it's laughable to think that you you can live without it. You literally can't be in your house in the summer if you don't have AC.
And that's a densely populated area. It's millions and millions of people.
Mm-hmm. Millions of more fucking ACs on the grid next summer. It's gonna be a disaster. Oh well. Doom, 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 doomity, doom, doom, doom.
By the way, the Doomer shirts are back on sale.
Hey, Doomer shirts back on sale. Somebody was asking about that the other day.
Yeah, it got turned back on. So.
They cycled them back through. We got another campaign going. Good. Doomer shirts now available again. Go to the Pessimist Productions store. Do it now. Buy a Doomer shirt. Doomer, 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 Doomer. Embrace the doom. Oh shit. There's the link. Become a doomer now. Do you have anything positive about the world to say, or just doom? Dude, I got tons of positive. Have you not listened?
I'm getting a trolly vibe from
No, he's fine. He's fine. Let him troll. But yeah, I got plenty of fucking positive to say about the world, bro. What do you want to hear about? Ask me some specific questions. I love people. I love psychology. I love music. I love little animals. I think that there's a lot of beauty left in the world. Luckily, I'm living at a time where it all hasn't gone to waste. And I hope that I can, with the years I have remaining, see as much of it as I can and experience as much of it as I can and appreciate as much of it as I can. You know, that's all positive. You know, I wax on constantly about the nature of beauty on this fucking show.
And we just had like a fucking hype moment for a spider.
Yeah. I mean, we have like wildlife interactions on the show. You guys have seen my little fox friend that came up to visit me. That shit happens. You know, I love the world. I really do. If people don't hear that in my fucking ideology, that's why I counter this whole doomer narrative. Dude, I'm not a fucking doomer. I see truth and beauty in nature, and I'm a doomer? Okay, well, I guess I'm a doomer because I don't like our culture. I'm a doomer because I think our culture is a fucking death machine. That makes me a doomer? Like, anybody that spends fucking time listening to me here knows that's fucking fake. I'm not a doomer in that sense, dude. To me, a doomer is somebody who's like, everything sucks and there's no reason to fuck. I've never been that. When have I ever been that? Everything sucks and there's no reason to care about anything. Like, when have I ever fed you guys base nihilism ever?
Yeah, you're not even an antinatalist,
Nope. Nope. Pro-labor, pro-human, pro-people, pro-freedom. You know? Yeah, dude, I'm not a doomer. I'm not a doomer at all. Period. Just because I talk about the fucking truth, that we're facing some fucking scary shit, doesn't make me a doomer. I'm not telling you to give up. I'm trying to wake you up to it. Like, for me, it comes from, like, the reason I talk so much about it, it comes from a desire to instill the fucking generation that's coming up behind me with a sense of urgency about this shit. Because it's going to be you guys and your children that reap the fucking whirlwind on this shit. So, hello. That's not a doomery thing to do. I'm not a bloomer either. I'm a pessimist. That doesn't make me a doomer. pessimism is different from like just base nihilism. They can have a lot of interplay. I'm also a nihilist. That doesn't make me a fucking doomer. See, there are philosophical implications to being a doomer. And for me, the main philosophical implication to being to really accepting the doomer label is to say that like you're intellectually lazy, that you're incapable of coming up with any solution for anything or having any kind of positive thought in your head, and so you just retreat to ultimate negativity and meaninglessness. I mean, I think fatalism is closer to doomerism, but I think that fatalism is its own fucking position as well. That's why I don't like this whole fucking system. And I know we've talked about this. This whole fucking system of labeling people that seems to be the new rage. It's like everybody's this, everybody's a this, everybody's a that, everybody's a boomer, a doomer, a coomer, a loomer, a flumer, a zoomer.
I'll see people like stressing out about it on Reddit too. It's like, what am I?
Yeah, a tanky, a wanky, a chanky, a flanky, whatever the fuck. Just a billion different political labels, gender labels,
Sexual
orientation labels, philosophical labels, and you're expected to have this fucking like 8-page list of labels to describe what you are, and not a single one of them describes you. You know what I mean? And you're supposed to like introduce you with that. So, yeah, what are you? Like, what is that? What do you mean, what am I? I'm a human. Yeah, okay, but like, you know, you a tanky, or you a flanky, or you a Stalinist, or you a Marxist, or you a Leninist, or you a capitalist, or you a doomer, or you a bloomer, or you a zoomer, or you a... What do you mean? Why don't you ask me a question about what I believe? And stop trying to put me in a fucking meaningless box. What does it avail you of to know what I am? I don't know what I am. Flanky the lactating tanky. Yeah, I mean, I don't know, dude. It's part of identity politics that I don't like. You know what I mean? I don't eschew all of identity politics and racial justice politics, especially, and social justice. I don't think those are bad words. I don't think they're bad pursuits. But this like movement towards this label shit, giving people a false sense of identification with one another because they're philosophically similar. It's like, no, you may not know that, man. Why don't you just, I really, because every fiber in my being wants everybody to be their own person. If we could just eschew the whole, like, what are you, like, introduction part and just talk, man, that would be the world I want to live in. I understand why people do it, Nick. I get it, dude. I know why people do it. It's tribalism, yeah. It's like there's comfort in belonging to a group and finding a group of people who you have solidarity with immediately because you're philosophically or politically or religiously or whatever really similar to them. You know what I mean? It feels good. But just creating endless fucking sub-cliques of sub-genres, of sub-definitions, you know what I mean? It's just, it starts to be thrown as a pejorative. You're an SJW, you're a fucking doomer, you're a fucking tanky, you know what I mean? And it's just like, man, what a fucking combo stopper, bro. And I take my own fucking lumps on that one. I used to do the same shit with the whole SJW thing. Or radfem thing, or whatever it is, you know what I mean? It's like so easy to go like, label, conversation stopper, therefore you dumb. USJW, therefore you dumb. You conservative, therefore you dumb. You libertarian, therefore you dumb. You know, and how often do we all do this shit, right? And what what is it? What is availed with that other than just shutting down a fucking conversation or the possibility of one? Bunch of apes. We're just a bunch of apes, y'all. Back to monkey. Back to monkey. Back to monkey. If you're having a conversation with somebody in the chat, I would stop right the fuck now. What's that Friar comment? Is that
No, I think it's someone imitating it, like saying like identity politics arguments.
What?
They're trying to make a joke and it doesn't work.
Oh, okay. Well, shut up. Outside of the internet, it doesn't happen much. Some people, well, dude, we need to. People are all like, we need to touch grass. We need to spend less time online as more and more people are spending more time online. No, we need to like admit, number one, this is the new way that human beings interact with one another, and that there's a lot of good that can come from it. And two, we need to start fucking changing the online space to make it more conducive to actual conversation with human beings, which means seizing that space from time wasters and people who exist to fuck with other people and stymie conversation, or at the very least having ways to deal with them. You know what I mean? And that's it. And that's just, we have to change the online space. We have to de-corporatize it. We have to reinstitute the idea of freedom of speech and association and expression, even if it means ideas that are just repugnant and awful to us, because this fucking goddamn tightly language and policed, like ideologically policed environment, it's just getting worse. It's becoming less and less real. And people are becoming less and less capable of being honest there. And less actual conversation is going on, and more tribalistic chest thumping is going on as a result, because we've allowed corporations to turn it into a giant money factory. And that's why it sucks. So no, we like this whole like boomerish idea of like, go touch grass. It's just ignoring the fact that people aren't going to do it. As long as there's a fucking online space, people are obviously going to be there. So let's make it better, yeah? Let's advocate for it actually being functional. That's what the rules in this place are about. Even in this small online community, it was just fraught and overrun with nonsense and bullshit that fucking made it harder for us to communicate as a community here. We need to stop fucking pretending like people aren't going to be plugged into this shit. I mean, fine. It's fine to tell people, yeah, unplug a little bit. Go out. Because, yes, you should touch grass. You know what I mean? But this idea that it's the only problem with the internet is that people are terminally online. No, the problem with people that are terminally online is that they're terminally online in a dysfunctional environment. And it breeds dysfunctional interactions that are petty and filled with bullshit and nonsense and fucking trying to cancel each other and trying to one-upsmanship each other. And it's so totally different from normal face-to-face human interaction. Why should it be? Well, one of the reasons is it's got this fake fucking cloak of anonymity over it that causes immature people to go on a fucking rampage about, you know, I can say dick and poo-poo and nipple. You know, that's the level of it. I mean, however sophisticated the fucking repetitive trolling is, that's what it boils down to. I want to be disruptive. I want to do something that I never would do in real life because I can, because I'm anonymous. And that includes finding an 11-year-old girl whose parents are out of town. Using your online persona to weasel your way into these. Look at how many fucking of these pedophile dudes they busted on that old show. luring them in with fake little girls and little boys. All facilitated by the online space, all facilitated by this idea. And every last one of those pedophiles, when you listen to their interviews, they'll say the same shit. And it's not true, but think about this shit. I've watched these interviews. Like, I do a lot of police interview watching, and I went on a tear one time when I was watching the few that are available of these people that were gaffled up in these America Undercover. What was it used to be called? The Chris Hansen Dateline To Catch a Predator shit. And almost uniformly, these dudes will say that the cops will say to them, like, "What were you thinking, bro? It's a 12-year-old girl." And they will say to the cop, like, "It just didn't seem real. It was like a fantasy. It was like what was happening wasn't real." You know what I mean? It was online, it was fantasy, it was role play, it was this, that, and the other thing. They all fall into this fucking same kind of like, and like, while I don't agree with that as an excuse, obviously, I understand it because it's true. There's a veil of unreality draped over our interactions on the internet that make people boisterous and shitty and fucking like sneaky and underhanded and gross. It's like these dudes sending these fucking like titty begging shit to women who aren't like in the business of showing their tits. They're just women online in the online space. And pretty much if you're a woman in the online space and you post a picture of yourself, you're going to get some fucking dude who's like sends a picture of his cock. Yeah. Like, or asks you for a picture of your tits or tries to hit you up to fuck you. You know what I mean? It's just like, and that dude in real life would never walk up to you and be like, "Hey, show," like whip his cock out and be like, "Show me your tits, baby." But because it's anonymous and because it's online, he could do it. And that's what we have to deal with. We have to deal with this veil of unreality, this blanket fucking LARP that's been thrown over the internet, where everybody gets to present themselves like they're a professor, but they're actually just some fucking pimply wow nerd. You know what I mean? I am that, by the way, but at least you know it. At least you know I'm just a fat pimply wow nerd. You know what I mean? I'm not pretending to be Max von Sydow or some shit. I'm not pretending to be some Earl of West Chesfordshire. I'm not pretending to be a Nigerian prince or the fucking, you guys know my name. I'm not pretending to be a college graduate or a professor or anything. You guys know what I've done. So at least that's true. And I try and set an example with that. Because that's what real human interaction is about. You can't be Superman and have an interaction with people. You can't pull on your fucking Spider-Man hood and go out there and pretend to be something you're not and have a genuine, honest fucking interaction with people. It just doesn't exist. It's all a LARP. And until we fucking realize that it's been co-opted in such a way that it's making people unhealthy, it's going to get worse. And I think it's a tool that could fucking like literally like for organizing, for simple human empathy, the greatest tool man's ever fucking created. And it's been co-opted by fucking shitty corporations, tech corporations that have no fucking investment in preserving the ability of fucking people to have a conversation. Would you advocate for requiring people to give up anonymity online? No. I've laid out my fucking plan. I don't feel like going through it again, but my fucking like three account plan. The basics of which are this. You are given 3 accounts to access the internet with throughout your life. The first one is given to you at birth, and it's basically like a social security number. And it allows you access to the children's internet, where there's no porn, there are no adults, and any adult using their child's login to prey on children will be really easily found and dealt with by the fucking proper authorities. So it shuts down the pedophile problem. Then, when you turn 18, you get your other 2 accounts. One of them is anonymous, And one of them has all, basic information about you, your real name, where you live, anything else you want to add about yourself in your bio and shit so people can look at you, see a picture of you, whatever the fuck. And if you want to use your anonymous account, you can. But if you're just a poopy doopy doopy floopy doopy 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 guy that has infinite free time and will just come back a million times, you only get to do that one time. So your ability to disrupt a conversation ad nauseum is limited to your one anonymous account. Once you burned that, your only other option is to come back and go poopy doopy 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 with your real face, your real name, your real fucking town that you live in, where you work. And if you want to do that, there's your other option. You see what I mean? That has to happen. If this doesn't happen, if people's fucking identities as people aren't appended to their online presence in some way, you will never ever see it be a tool that's worth a shit. It'll be a LARP till the end of fucking time because people will be able to claim they are what they aren't and endlessly pester and endlessly disrupt and endlessly co-opt. You think this is just a completely benign trolling thing? No. This is people going into online spaces where lefties are getting together and poisoning the well. And they get away with it because they can come back and be 15 different people. You think it's not happening? You think it's not a problem? You think it doesn't make what could be humanity's greatest organizational tool almost functionally unusable? If you got here late, then don't say sup to me like you just showed up at Cheers or some shit. This ain't Cheers. Shut up and listen or rewind, please. I thought this was almost empty.
Sorry, I filled it up because I saw it was empty.
It's okay, that's my bad. Feels good, actually.
Why are you sniffing Dad's blunt?
I know why he's sniffing it. Oh, yeah. Dino wanna smoke the ganja. Oh, yeah. Dino wanna smoke the ganja. So aggressive today. My bad, bro. We're in the midst of talking about how people are time-wasting pieces of fucking shit, and you just came in here like Norm walking into the fucking bar, I actually arrived here 5 minutes earlier, but I waited and listened to the conversation before I started participating. Shocking, Otello. Shocking. That's fucking nuts, bro. Why would you do that? I don't want to smoke the ganja. Oh, yeah. You can't have no ganja, though. You can't smoke the ganja. You is a little doggy. You get a little contact high sitting here. I know you do. You get a little tippity taste of the ganja. But you can't have no ganja. There are times, like, I've stopped doing this because, I don't think it hurts him, but he obviously likes it, but I just don't like overexposing our animals to, hotboxing. And, Dinoaur wants to be in with me all the time, and if I'm smoking in my office or whatever, it's, hotboxed out in there. And there have been times where I'm sitting there, and I'm looking at the computer through literal slits in my eyes, and I noticed the haze in the room, and then I look down, and Dinoaur is on his side on his bed, just dead dog to the world. He's fine. He's just,
That's why he has a bed in between our offices now.
Yeah. He has a bed in between the offices, so when Dad wants to smoke, he can lay out there and be close, and then, once it airs out, he can come back in. Huh. Yeah. That's true. D doesn't get into he's not that type of dog, dude. He would never, I could leave my weed laying on the counter and he would sniff it and just walk away from it. Cricket, on the other hand, He might not eat it, but he would fucking knock it off onto the floor for sure.
Yeah, if he left like a unlidded jar or something.
Or a joint. If I sat a joint down in there or something, he's gonna fucking snag it and take it somewhere. Or at least fucking knock it off the table just because. I'm gonna be like, where's my joint? And I'll find it on the fucking ground. No, I saw that shit. It was so sad. That fucking fire. We set the ocean on fire. We set the Gulf of Mexico on fire. Some fucking natural gas pipeline burst and exploded underwater, and now there's a jet of flame from the bottom of the ocean to the top, boiling up, looking like a portal to hell. It's just like, how long are people going to put up with the fucking... Well, never mind. It doesn't matter anymore. This is where I am a doomer. The climate is fucked.
Yeah, I'm kind of in that place now, too. It's like, at this point, like, even if we stopped everything, it's already done.
That's not an opinion. That's just science. That's what the scientists are saying. Like, if we went carbon neutral now, it would still take like 400 years for this to reach its apex, and by that time, we're fucked. Dude, the literal ocean is burning. And we're all just sitting here doing nothing about it as the world becomes less and less habitable for our kind. And it's like, you know what, dude? We're going to live out our lives, but our children and our children's children...
Time for the tunnel people.
Yep. They're going to be digging holes. They're going to be fighting wars. They're going to be dying by the fucking truckload. I still have trouble understanding wet bulb temperature. I mean, it's pretty easy to understand, bro. Think about it. All right, so I'll try and explain it to you as layman as I understand it. So the way that the human body cools itself when it's too hot outside, when it's hotter than your ambient body temperature or whatever the fuck outside, and your body needs to cool itself, or you're exerting yourself in such a way that it needs to cool itself down, you have a natural cooling system in the form of sweat. Perspiration gets on your body, and then it evaporates and takes some of the heat with it, and that cools you. So wet bulb temperature and lethal wet bulb are like, if it's so humid outside that your sweat can't evaporate, which I've experienced this. If you've ever been to Louisiana or a very hot, tropical, kind of very humid climate like that, you find yourself unable to stop sweating and not cooled by it at all. And that's actually deadly because your body just continuously sheds water, but you're not cooling yourself, so the core temperature rises and it becomes deadly for you to be out there. So that's what it is. It's like, it's a reason why when it's 110 degrees here in California, I can sit outside. I can sit outside in the shade and sweat and I'll be fine. Because it's cooling my body enough, because the heat is dry enough here that it's evaporating and blah, 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 blah. So that's it. I mean, it's just like it gets so hot and humid that the human body cannot cool itself, and people die from being outside. We'll be all long gone, but anyone who's here generations on, I can't even imagine how they'll be living, let alone inhabiting this planet. Yeah. There's a Derek Jensen quote that I use a lot with you guys, that are at least I quote a lot, where he talks about the single greatest thing by which our civilization will be judged will be the health of the land base. So the people that come after us, the generations yet to be born won't give a fuck about anything else that we did. Going to the moon, civil rights, the end of slavery, as important as all these things are to us culturally and as a species now, the only thing that the people that are left on this fucking planet are going to care about is what we did to it. They're going to look at us as monsters. We will literally be monsters to the last surviving humans. Not a single person among them will not loathe the people that came before that destroyed this world, because that will be something that will be known. It's already known. And that will be passed from generation to generation. And the last generation of human beings that are on this planet will hate us uniformly. That's the one thing that we will be judged by, is the health of the land base that we leave behind. Why would they care about fuck all else that we did? The answer is they wouldn't. I watched a documentary called Corporation and how corporations are abusing the power that they have. And it said that there will be wars fought over drinking water in 2025. It was made in 2004. I mean, we've known how fucked up things are for longer than 2004, bro. When I was a kid in the 80s, they were making dystopian movies like Blade Runner. Do you think those movies were just made for the cool aesthetic? That movie is a whole ass fucking cultural critique. So we knew. Mad Max came out in the 70s. In case you've never seen it or have lived under a rock or whatever, Mad Max is about a world that has turned into a desert where water and gasoline are the most premium fucking things in the world, and where people live by preying on one another tribally in ever more violent fucking expressions of human degradation. Think that just came out of a vacuum? No, it came out of the knowledge in the 70s that we're raping the fucking planet. This is a paper on climate change. Now, gas companies in particular have actually known about climate change as a result of massive CO2 and other greenhouse emissions since like the 50s, 60s. Yep. They started sharing it with the actual people in the 60s. You started hearing this kind of like save the earth, tree hugger kind of thing in the 60s. And then it really became, expressive, at least verbally, in the 80s when I was born. And in the 90s, there was this save the rainforest fucking initiatives and all this shit. People were fucking trying to ring the alarm bells, but nobody cared enough. And shit just got worse and worse and worse. And now here we are. We're at the precipice. We're at the crisis point. And it's like, all right. Well, let's at least talk about what we should do. No. Let's argue about Joe Biden. Let's continue participating in the very system that raped this planet and say that it's harm reductive to do so. Would you consider doing a guerrilla-style documentary? I don't really even know what the concept would be on different topics. Like what? Like being like a Michael Moore wannabe, where I try and talk to CEOs or politicians or whatever. I can't fund it, bro. No can do. Yeah, boiling point, literally. Indeed, indeed. I remember reading for one of my classes in the late 70s, 80s, oil companies switched their funding from climate research to lobbying and propaganda. Yeah. Captain Planet, he's a hero. Gonna take pollution down to zero. He's our power magnified, and he's fighting on the planet side. We're the Planeteers. You can be one too. Saving our planet is the thing to do. Looting and polluting is not the way. Hear what Captain Planet has to say. The power is yours. Earth, fire, wind, water, heart. Was that a slogan? That's a cartoon from when I was a kid. Look up Captain Planet. Oh, it's all blame shifting on the public. The planet is in trouble because people litter. It's like, oh my God, guys. He's beautiful. I gotta show you guys. Oh, guys, look. It's a skink. Or like a, oh my God, he's beautiful. He's a salamander. Oh. He's beautiful. Come here, buddy. You run? Yeah, he's going back out. Oh, man. He's a salamander. That was so cool. Total fucking cool, dude. Wow. Here we are talking about, like, saving the environment, and he shows up, bro. Yeah, sorry you guys had to see my feet. He's out here hunting. Dude, what a fucking cool guy, man. That was awesome. I know they bite. I didn't pick him up. He wasn't trying to bite me. Yeah, see, at least I've trimmed my nails recently. At least you guys didn't have to see my big old eagle's claws. I cut my nails a couple of days ago, so at least you saw that. Better than TJ's underwear, true dat. True dat. But I am a barefoot Okie, dude. I don't wear shoes out here. I don't, Dude, that was so dope. He was so beautiful. Black with orange spots. Fucking so cool. I kind of want a reptile. I kind of want to get a skink. Remember when you and TJ did a wipe test? Was that kayfabe? Do you really want, like, do you do you want the truth, or do you want the easy road? Because, you know, I'm not sure that you want to know. There was a lot of kayfabe on the Drunken Peasants. The Doody stain challenge was 100% real. I will go to my grave. It was real. Happened on the fly. We dude, at the time we were doing the show out of a fucking studio apartment. And there were fucking wet wipes in the bathroom, and Ben went and grabbed 2 wet wipes. I went in and gave my fucking bunghole a good swivel, and so did TJ. And you could barely see anything on mine, man. Mine was pretty fucking clean. And TJ's was... You guys remember the shame. It was a shameful display. Even the overseas got raped along the way. Yeah. Yeah. Doody stains, Doody stains, Doody stains. There was a reason why the Doody stain challenge only happened one time on the show, because even we were grossed out by it. Like, as people that were pushing the boundaries of what was acceptable on YouTube every fucking day, it went too far for us. You know what I mean? The Doody stain challenge went too far for us. You know? It was a brick too far even for the drunken peasants. You know, just one Doody stain too many. Doody stain, Doody stain. I remember that and believe that TJ really comes across as someone who doesn't do the prerequisite wipe check after. I don't know, dude. I don't know what the deal was that day, but dude, I just remember saying something like, when he showed his rag, I remember it saying, like, look at the state of your shitty ass, dude. Look at your shitty ass. I can't believe how shitty your ass is. Oh man, that was a low point, man. That's a personal, professional low point right there, you know? What am I? What am I, bro? TJ also shit his pants. Yeah, it's true, and he denies it to this day, dude. But you can totally see it. You can totally watch it on the fucking on our 24-hour show. TJ shit his pants. Oh man, the bog of eternal stench. Oh, I'm having a moment, man. Just give me a minute. I'll get over it. I'll get over it. I'm having one of those existential crisis moments. Doing this type of job, you have to have them, because the absurdity of what I do for a living has to, dude, it has to slap you in the face every once in a while. If you are to remain a fucking grounded person, it has to, dude. Oh my God, dude. Why does anybody listen to me? Hello. Why is there anybody here? Dude, I'm a full-blown fucking clown. Oh my God. Dude, I did the Doody stain challenge. You guys are coming to me for your fucking opinions. Please, people. Oh my God. Oh, the Doody stain. Oh, look at your shitty ass, TJ. Oh, man. Oh, Jesus. Oh, fuck. Man, what a nightmare. What a nightmare. But I'm sorry, dude. It is, dude. Poopy and shitty and farty. It's the funniest shit. It still is. Dude, it always was. Think about it. When you were fucking, like, if you remember when you were 8 or 7, dude, poopy, shitty, diaper farty was the funniest shit. And it still is. It still is. Oh man, forgive me. It still is, dude. It still is. Oh man. Chocolate rain. Some stay dry, another feels the pain. Chocolate rain. Oh God, bro. No. No, bro. It's not that funny anymore ever since I got 22 years old. Oh man, you're so grown up, Crescent Slice. Bro, dude, you're an example to us all, man. You are so grown up, bro. You're so grown up. Paul's here bringing up memories we've all blocked off in our memory banks. Oh my God, dude. Some stay dry and others Doody stain. Chocolate rain. Oh my God, dude. No, no, dude. No. No, please. Don't do it to me. Don't make me do it. All right. Well, you broke me. I gotta go. I'm broken. I leave you a broken man, but I'll put myself together and I'll see you tomorrow. Oh.